Investigators have not publicly linked David to the teen's death. Celeste's family says she had a boyfriend named David.
The David case just took a wild, shady twist. It's been a whole month since 15-year-old Celeste was found inside his Tesla, and somehow this man's been walking around free like nothing happened. But now that might finally change. Reports say David's been moving money, shifting property, and trying to scrub his name off everything connected to him. That's not just suspicious, that's straight up panic mode. People only start hiding assets when they know something heavy's about to drop in court. He's moving fast, and it's screaming one thing. He knows what's coming. And let's be real, this wasn't some relationship. It was grooming, plain and simple. The fact that she was a minor makes the whole thing even more disturbing. This was never about love. It was control, manipulation, and secrets hiding behind a shiny image. Once the story exploded online, everything went off the rails. People who actually knew Celeste or had seen her with David started coming forward with stories, screenshots, and timelines. They wanted everyone to see what was really happening behind the scenes.
This man is absolutely cooked. Career over. Him and the 15-year-old girl that was found chopped up in his trunk, oh, they knew each other since as early as 2022 when she was 12. Celeste would have been 13 years old. She would have been turning 14 in September of 2024. And they're talking about how he has a girlfriend. And then down here, somebody says, yeah, her name is Celeste.
The internet became a firestorm overnight. Names, messages, and receipts dropping everywhere. People online started dropping some insane claims, saying David was literally paying people off to keep quiet about his situation with Celeste. And the wildest part, rumors even say he might have slipped money to Celeste's own mom to stay silent. That sounds unreal, right? But here's where it gets creepy. Some of those so-called rumors actually check out.
We got a phone call from here saying that somebody was dead. We got an address. There was a gunshot and a woman screamed. What? I'm serious. That's why we came up here like this, because and then they talked to the caller. Whoever they were talking to said that there's a person dead.
How do you explain the fact that his own Discord server was talking about a missing girl named Celeste Raz Hernandez after she had already disappeared? Like, what kind of person lets that slide? That's not gossip, and that's evidence sitting in plain sight. And it gets even worse. People pulled up messages from way before any of this went public, back in 2023 and even early 2024, showing that multiple users were trying to warn everyone. Folks were saying things like, David only adds underage girls, and he only likes kids. This wasn't one random hater making stuff up. There was a whole trail of people trying to expose him for years. What's crazy is that the receipts were out there the whole time. Screenshots, usernames, timestamps.
From last year proves David is 100% guilty. So while people were digging into the David situation, they found this comment by a person named Robin River. At the time of recording, the comment is still up and I can 100% confirm it's real. If you read it, you can see that they knew about David messing around with girls that were not of age all the way back in 2024. Who this Robin person is and how they know this, I don't know, but I will investigate. I'm gonna reach out to them and update you guys if they get back with me.
All buried online until now, and yet nobody took it seriously until it was too late. Oh, and get this, that Robin River account, the one that started posting about him nonstop, it just blew up to 200,000 followers off one single comment. That's insane. Back to the story. When everything from Discord and those old screenshots dropped, it was like a digital explosion. People had been sitting on that dirt for years, just waiting for the moment to unload it. And the second David's name hit the headlines, boom! They dropped everything, old chats, messages, rumors, all hitting the internet at once like a tidal wave of receipts.
Huge update on the David situation. This is what I heard people talking about. I'm not sure if it's true. Y'all let me know down in the comments. But apparently David was paying Celeste's mom $10,000 a week to keep quiet.
After that chaos, things went quiet for a bit. There wasn't much new info coming out, just whispers that police had raided his house and that somehow David was spotted playing Fortnite of all things. Like, seriously, who does that when you're under investigation for something this serious? It wasn't about the game. It was about how tone-deaf it looked. His world was collapsing, his name was in every headline, and he's sitting there online gaming like nothing's wrong. Unreal. And then the story took another wild twist. A few days ago, reports started coming out that David had transferred both his houses in Texas to his mom's name.
Now, David, in this whole murder mystery case, he is no longer a suspect because new news came out that Celeste, they have a biopsy. They're saying, this is what they suspect, that she had a drug overdose. But why the hell is she still
But why
in
is
the
she
car?
in the car? Yeah.
What if maybe she did overdose because of them, and then they're obviously trying to hide that?
Yeah, hide that. Okay. Well, my theory is like all the evidence is there. The tattoos like that. There's no way that.
Yeah, there's no way he's not a suspect, right?
2 full properties near Houston gone from his name overnight. And get this, according to TMZ, he did it right after police confirmed the victim was Celeste Riva. That timing is way too perfect to be a coincidence. He didn't just move money, he literally handed over real estate while cops were digging into a case involving a 14-year-old girl. That screams damage control or worse, guilt. And here's the kicker. On the same day those transfers went through, someone made a fake emergency call that sent a SWAT team straight to his house. David wasn't there, but his family was caught in the chaos. Yeah, that whole SWAT situation was terrifying, but let's talk about why David suddenly handed off his houses like that. It's actually a classic move. People transfer their stuff to family members when they feel the heat coming.
Shut the f up, Lico. There's no way he's playing Fortnite right now. There's actually no way he's on Fort. You guys are laughing. That's insane. How? Show me the proof, please. He got a win 2 days ago? Dude, what the fuck? He played a game of Fortnite yesterday.
If the houses aren't legally in his name, then technically he can't lose them if a lawsuit hits. It's a sneaky little loophole, but everyone knows what it really means. Panic mode. And if he really signed those houses over on the same day, police confirmed Celeste was the victim, then yeah, that looks bad. Like, no denying it anymore. At this point, after everything we've seen, does anyone still believe he's innocent? Because I don't think so. The receipts are too heavy. The Discord logs, the old screenshots, the DMs, even the videos floating around online. And let's not forget the most disturbing part. She was literally found in his car. Now people are saying he's deleting posts and banning critics from his own subreddit, like he's trying to scrub the internet clean. Someone even joked on r/music that
didn't treat her well or whatever, and she didn't like where she was at. We were at PE, and she told me and my friend that she was running away, and she said it was because of her parents.
Hearing that from a kid who shared PE class with
David's probably hiding in a bunker like Saddam Hussein while LAPD's too busy doing nothing. That's wild. But at this point, it doesn't even sound far-fetched. No matter how his fans try to twist it, the truth's right there. There's no PR spin that can make this go away. Let's be honest, the best thing he could be in this story is a groomer, and the worst is something unthinkable. Both are disgusting. A 15-year-old girl lost her life, and instead of helping investigators, he's out here moving money like it's a game of chess. At first, David tried to play it cool, acting like none of this noise existed. He kept performing, posting, and pretending everything was business as usual. But that didn't last long. His tour got canceled fast, and before anyone could blink, he'd already hired a legal dream team. Now he's claiming to be fully cooperating with investigators, but people online aren't buying it one bit.
David transferred ownership of his houses to his mom. Be sure you're following to stay in the loop. So David put 2 deeds of houses that he owned in Texas under a trust in his mother's name. Now David doing this does not have good implications for his case at all, because this shows that he is either expecting to face charges in the Celeste case or a possible civil suit from Celeste's family. Because if Celeste's family decides to sue him, he can't be sued for property that he technically doesn't own.
Ever since the story broke, the internet's been in full detective mode. TikToks, Discord screenshots, Reddit threads, and endless Instagram posts, all trying to connect the dots on what really happened. Every clip, every timestamp, every blurry photo gets analyzed like a crime scene. And honestly, for a while, it looked like David's career was finished. But now, a few new reports are shaking things up, and they've made the story even more complicated.
Is kind of like a strategic area where there's only, see that road right there wraps around to the right and then it connects again to the main road. So there's not too many people that will walk by it. And these hedges on this house are so high that it really takes out people walking on the other side of the vehicle. So I don't know if it was actually done strategically, but if you're gonna leave it somewhere else, it's as good a place to leave it as that.
Turns out, Celeste had been running away from home since she was around 12 years old. That's heartbreaking. And it paints a painful picture of what she might have been going through long before David entered her life.
She missing first time. Her sister coming here, asked me, and we start looking at the camera to find out where she go and if we can find anything to get her back.
The last time anyone saw her alive was on surveillance footage outside a small liquor store around 7 a.m. She was wearing a black hoodie and white sweatpants, looking quiet, tired, and so young. The store owner later described her as a shy, soft-spoken girl, someone who seemed lost in the chaos of social media's grip. He said she used to come by often just to buy gum or soda, and that she seemed trapped by the online world's toxic pull. He's not wrong either.
Investigators have not publicly linked David to the teen's death. Celeste's family says she had a boyfriend named David, and several social media pictures linking.
These days, social media is like a parent raising a whole generation, shaping their minds, their choices, their reality. And when you're young, lonely, or craving validation, it's so easy to fall into that trap, especially when someone famous starts paying attention. That's what made David's presence so dangerous. He had fame, followers, and the kind of influence that could make a teenager feel seen, even if it came from a dark place. Then things got even more suspicious when a photo surfaced online showing David standing with two teenage girls less than half a mile from Celeste's house. Witnesses started coming forward saying they'd seen David and Celeste together at parties, acting like a couple.
She was only a 14-year-old child. They could not believe that because she also presented herself very mature.
Woman talk? All right, I'm not gonna let your woman talk. Ain't nobody black right here, homie. We're Southsiders right here, homie. We're Southsiders here. Get it right, homegirl. Shut up with your black talking. You ain't gonna do shit. You better get over there. Get your ass over there, little girl.
Multiple people from that LA circle swore they'd spotted them side by side, laughing, dancing, and even holding hands like they were dating. But here's where it gets tricky. Those same witnesses claimed they thought Celeste was around 19 years old, maybe a USC student. She always wore oversized hoodies and baggy jackets, so nobody realized just how young she actually was. According to them, David never gave off creepy vibes. He was quiet, calm, and almost shy, which made people drop their guard around him. But once police stepped in, the truth started hitting hard. Law enforcement confirmed that Celeste had multiple fake IDs, all with different ages. That single revelation flipped the whole conversation upside down.
Family friend of Celeste Rivas Hernandez sent an email to Josh Marshall, who is David's manager and roommate, back in 2024, February 2024. And in the email was the missing persons report of Celeste and all of her information. And it said, we know Celeste is living with you guys. She needs to return home. One day later, Celeste returned home. And then a month after that, she went back to living with David and his roommate, Josh Marshall. So Josh Marshall was well aware of Celeste Rivas Hernandez's age and that she was a missing child. Missing persons private investigator Steve Fisher was just on a YouTube channel called Pop Crime TV with Lauren. You guys need to check out that episode. The interview is so good. He gives a lot of information. He talks all about the email and a lot of other stuff that I didn't know about. He also says that the silence from David and Interscope Records and his manager is deafening and not a good look. If you guys know of any other creators who are following this case closely, please tag them below so I can follow them as well, because I am really obsessed with this case and obsessed with getting justice for Celeste Rivas.
Now people started asking the big question, was David knowingly involved with a minor, or did he somehow get caught in something tragic and deceptive? Either way, it's bad, but if he knew, it's unforgivable. And just when things couldn't get messier, a new rumor sent social media into total chaos. People started claiming Celeste might have been pregnant. Screenshots began spreading online from Discord messages allegedly written by David himself, where he hinted about a kid on the way. That line alone made the internet explode. But then the medical examiner stepped in and completely shut that down. They confirmed Celeste was not pregnant and hadn't been at any point in the last year. That rumor got buried instantly, but it left everyone wondering what else online is real and what's fake. As for the timeline, investigators now believe her body had been decomposing for roughly 2 weeks before being discovered. Then things took an even darker turn when a video started making rounds online. It showed Celeste arguing with an older neighbor in what looked like a racially charged confrontation. The clip was hard to watch, full of tension and shouting, and it painted a heartbreaking picture of the chaos she was surrounded by. It gave everyone a glimpse into just how toxic and unstable her world really was before everything spiraled out of control. Not long after, another emotional story surfaced. A classmate named Damien came forward saying he had briefly dated Celeste back in middle school. He talked about how they used to share a PE class, just two kids with normal teenage dreams before life pulled them in completely different directions. Hearing that from someone who actually knew her made it all hit harder, realizing that the same girl he played basketball with ended up caught in LA's nightlife scene before she was even old enough to drive. That's tragic. Police reports later confirmed what many had suspected. Celeste's home life was rough. Authorities had been called to her house 33 times in just 3 years. That's not a small number, that's a cry for help. It's no wonder she kept running away, chasing escape wherever she could find it. Even her family's GoFundMe stirred up more controversy. It was supposed to help with funeral expenses, but then it suddenly switched to a general donation fund. No explanation, no update, just changed. And as donations climbed close to $25,000, people online started asking where the money was really going. And then came the twist that made everyone's jaw drop. David's manager, Josh Marshall, got pulled into the spotlight. A viral TikTok accused him of knowing about Celeste's situation way before her death. One user even claimed that a family friend had emailed him a missing person report all the way back in early 2024, months before the story ever hit the news. If that's true, it means the people around David knew something was off and stayed quiet, and that silence might end up haunting all of them. Eventually, Josh Marshall, David's manager, finally broke his silence. He jumped into the comments and dropped a full public statement denying everything. His exact words were, "This video is false and the person is misinformed. This is the only time I'll speak on the matter for now." He didn't hold back, and you could tell he wanted to shut the rumors down fast. Marshall went on to explain that this whole situation has been a tough time for his family. He said, "I'm the father of 3 children. I received no emails, and I'm no one's roommate. I live full-time with my wife and kids. My daughter's 14, and this news is affecting so many lives. I never received any email, had zero knowledge of anything, and I don't live in California." He made sure to repeat that last part twice. He wanted everyone to know he's not anywhere near LA. He also added that he works remotely about 95% of the time and rarely interacts directly with clients, even David. According to him, there's a whole team of people who deal with David's daily management, not him. He called the whole thing tragic and said he hopes the proper authorities get to the bottom of it soon. After that, he reminded everyone online that most of what's being said is alleged and full of speculation, basically telling people to stop spreading rumors before the facts are confirmed. But even with all that, the internet wasn't convinced. Something about the way he worded his post just didn't sit right with people. Here's what made it even weirder. Josh Marshall isn't some random behind-the-scenes guy. He's been in the industry for years, working with big names like Lil Mosey, Ruby Rose, and Smoke Perp. So why would someone that established choose to drop a serious denial in a random TikTok comment section instead of an official statement or press release? That part still makes zero sense, and it's got people side-eyeing his every word. So far, it's the only direct response we've heard from anyone even remotely tied to David. Meanwhile, chaos keeps following the case. Police reportedly visited David's parents' house after someone called in a false report of a gunshot. After watching that old mini documentary about David and his family, it's honestly hard not to feel a little sympathy for them. In the footage, his parents come across as completely normal, supportive, loving, and just proud of their son chasing his dream. You can tell they never expected to be pulled into something this dark. It's heartbreaking, really. They didn't do anything wrong, yet now they're getting threats and being dragged through the mud just because of who their son is. Recently, they were even spotted at a pawn shop, reportedly buying what looked like a rifle, most likely for protection. That alone says a lot about how tense things have gotten. Imagine being so scared that you have to arm yourself just to feel safe because of something you didn't even do. That's a whole new level of tragic. Meanwhile, David himself isn't exactly sitting around waiting. He's gone out and hired some major legal firepower, top-tier attorneys who've represented names like Kanye West, Lindsay Lohan, and Britney Spears. That's serious money, and it tells you one thing. He knows this case could destroy him if it goes the wrong way. But despite all the chaos, the rumors, and the constant social media theories, here's the wild part. There are still no officially named suspects in Celeste's case. Nobody's been cleared, and nobody's been confirmed as a person of interest. It's like everything's frozen in limbo, and that silence from the authorities is only making the public even more desperate for answers. At this point, the story feels like a mix of heartbreak and confusion. A young girl gone too soon, and an entire internet community trying to play detective with half the pieces missing. It's tragic, because behind all the drama, the hashtags, and the clickbait headlines, this was still a child. A kid who slipped through every safety net, at home, at school, and online, until it was too late. And that's the saddest part of all. We still don't know the full truth. Maybe we won't for a while. But what's clear is how fast the internet turns pain into entertainment. where grief becomes gossip and tragedy becomes trend content. Maybe just this once, everyone needs to stop speculating, stop pointing fingers, and let the truth come out when it's ready, because justice shouldn't have to compete with noise.